In Boston, Massachusetts. Coming up, it's game 2 of tonight's doubleheader between the Tribe and the Boston Red Sox. Very happy to have you with us for game 2 here on Sports Channel. I'm John Sanders, along with Rick Manning. And of course, Rick, you look at game 1, it wasn't a lot of fun. 13-5, the Red Sox jumped out quickly and really never looked back.
No, they couldn't. They just kept pounding them, 2, 3, 4 runs an inning, and the pitching of Cleveland never really held them down. And Cleveland's offense really didn't start going till about the 8th inning and pick back up, so they got a tough task at hand for this second ball game and facing Roger Clemens.
Absolutely, and the duty for the Indians falls on Dave Otto. We've taken off our jackets. I think we're going to roll up our sleeves and go back to work.
It's too cold to do that. You're going to put your jacket back on. Who you kidding?
That's exactly right. But no rain here in Fenway Park despite the threats and the forecast. Very few changes in the starting lineup for game 2 for Boston. Quite a few changes for the Cleveland Indians. We'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch, game 2 from Fenway Park, coming your way next, right here on Sports Channel. We are back to Fenway Park in Boston, getting set for the second game of this doubleheader. Both the starting pitchers, Dave Otto and Roger Clemens, have completed their warm-ups, and we're just about set to go. We were scheduled to start at 8:20. It appears that we might be a minute or so late, but no more than that. We're going to run down Mike Hargrove's starting lineup for game number 2 tonight because he made more changes, obviously, than Joe Morgan. So let's check out that starting lineup for the Tribe in the second game of the doubleheader. Leading off will be the DH, Alex Cole. Jerry Brown, who came on to play the last 3 innings of game 1, will start at second base in game 2. Carlos Baerga moves over to third base. Albert Bell will be in left field. Mike Aldretti will play the second game, bat 5th at first base. Mark Whitten in right field. Glenn Allen Hill will bat 7th and play center field. The catcher will be Luis Lopez, batting in the number 8 spot, and Felix Fermin will bat 9th and play shortstop.
Well, they are going to face the tough right-hander, at least tough on the Cleveland Indians and the rest of the league, Roger Clemens. And Clemens, 15-2 lifetime against the Indians. Only shutout on the year, coming back in April here when he faced Greg Swindell and beat him 4-0. Red Sox getting ready to take the field.
The announcement of the starting lineups for both teams are still going on here at the stadium, which we mentioned. Rather scattered crowd when we started at 5:05, but certainly a lot of folks coming on to see Roger Clemens pitch the second game of this doubleheader. Only the second time that he has faced the Indians this year. And when we saw him, as you mentioned, back in mid-April, he pitched a shutout against the Tribe. He looked almost unhittable. I also remember the fact that Tony Pena came up to me before one of the games and said, you know, Roger is going to pitch a no-hitter one of these days, and it might be this year.
Well, he did say that. He has been struggling as of late, but this is the man that's really gets them over the hump, and their main starting pitcher. The reason why Pena said that is because he's not afraid to come inside to the hitters now, where he can pitch effectively in there. And when he can come inside with his 90-plus fastball, and then he's got the splitter, he's got a slider, he's got a change of pace, can be very effective. Red Sox climbing over the 500 mark in the first game. The win, they go to 60-59, and a chance to pick up ground on Toronto. Toronto in Milwaukee this evening. That game just underway. There's no score there, so they'll pick up a half a game at least.
Rechecking that starting lineup for the Indians in game 2. It's Cole, Brown, and Baerga. Bell, Aldretti, and Whitten. Hill, Lopez, and Fermin. Those will be the starting 9 in game number 2, as penciled in on the lineup card of Mike Hargrove. The Indians losing their 80th game of the year in the first game, and as Rick mentioned, the Red Sox moving to 1 game over 500 at 60-59. They have also now won 6 out of the 10 meetings between these two teams this year. We will rotate the umpiring crew, and the umpires are on their way to home plate right now to accept those starting lineups. Richie Dower brings out the Indian starting lineup, and John McLaren.
So Dick Berardino?
Excuse me, Dick Berardino takes out the starting lineup. Ken Kaiser will be behind the plate for game number 2. They rotate around. Jim Joyce at first, Jim McKean at second, and Vic Voltaggio, who worked the plate in game one, will be down at third base for the second game of this doubleheader. These two teams will play a single game tomorrow that will wind up their business in Boston this year, but not necessarily their business for the year, because there's one game remaining on the schedule that had been postponed earlier in Cleveland, and that's a game that may not be made up until October the 7th, after the end of the regular season. Well, the Red Sox defense takes the field. Roger Clemens will be the last to come out, and he will go to the center of the diamond.
Clemens on the year, making his 26th start for the Red Sox. Has 7 complete games and a record of 12-8 with a 2.61 earned run average. 189 1/3 innings pitched, 157 strikeouts, 50 base on balls, and 164 strikeouts. That's second in the league behind big Randy Johnson over there in Seattle.
And the defense behind Roger Clemens: Greenwell, Burks, and Brunansky. Same outfield that started game one. Quintana, Reed, Brumley playing the second game for Rivera. Boggs is at third, and Marzano is doing the catching.
Well, Cleveland would like to jump up early. You can't let this guy get into a groove in Roger Clemens, because, you know, once he gets into that groove, the middle innings, and he senses it, he's just, you know, he's got the killer instinct. He wants to complete the game. Got to try and jump up on him early and keep him away from his rhythm.
He has had a tremendous lifetime record against the Tribe. 15 victories and only 2 defeats. Roger Clemens making his 26th start of the season. He has 7 complete games, and the 1 shutout on the year, as we mentioned, was against the Indians back on April the 13th. A 4-0 victory as he beat Greg Swindell.
Look at this guy's numbers at Fenway Park. His career record, 64 29 with a 2.85 earned run average.
Clemens completing his warm-up as we get set to start the second game. The opener went to the Red Sox 13-5 as they pounded out 15 hits. The Indians 5 runs on 6 hits. The Indians hit a pair of home runs in game one. Solo home run by Hill, a 2-run home run by Albert Bell, but it was too little too late. 13-5 was the final score. So we're set for the nightcap here in Fenway Park, Boston, which fortunately Rick has stayed dry for the doubleheader.
Yes, it has. It's not too bad right now. Maybe it's because we've had a little time to get up and move a little bit, but it doesn't seem as chilly as it was in the first game.
Now Clemens ready to go to face Alex Cole, who did not play in game one. So Alex playing for the first time here tonight. Alex batting .281 with no homers and 13 runs batted in. The first to face Roger Clemens in game number 2. And over the last 19 games, Alex is hitting over 300. A called strike to him. Cole also is the only Indians batter who's walked more than he has struck out. 40 walks, 31 strikeouts. Clemens with 164 Ks coming in. So about 7 minutes later than they told us, we're underway. And Cole hits it past the glove of Reed as he reached out. It bounced off the end of his glove and into center field. It'll be a leadoff base hit for Alex Cole.
Oh, that's the way to get this second game started. Get that leadoff man Cole with 17 stolen bases on the season, has been caught 12 times. He was taking a look over at Dower, but you'll see the pitch. It's a fastball. He tries to tie Cole up inside and cannot do it, and he gets it past Reed at second base.
So it will be Jerry Brown with 1 on and nobody out. The Indians get the first hit, first base runner. Alex Cole has stolen 8 straight. Has not been caught stealing since the 5th of July against Milwaukee. Brown was 1 for 2. Brown was 0 for 2 in game 1. and batting .220 on the year. A long look at Dower, and let's see if Mike Hargrove tries to stir things up early on. Cole drawing the attention, and a throw from Roger Clemens. We're just underway in the second of 2 here on Sports Channel tonight. Roger Clemens spent most of his youth in Dayton, Ohio, but he finished high school in Texas, played at the University of Texas.
See him changing rhythm over there to Cole. Will not let him get set. That time he steps off and then turns to make the quick throw. See if he tries to hold one time and maybe quicken his delivery to home plate, almost like a quick pitch.
Throw behind the runner at first, put Jerry Brown back. Gordy McKenzie in the first base coach's box, and Rich Dower down at third, handing out the signs right now. Marzano catching game 2 after Pena was behind the plate in the opener.
Good count right here. 2 balls and no strikes. You figure Clemens has got to come in there with the fastball.
Runner not going, and the pitch is a strike. Carlos Baerga to follow. Nobody out and a runner aboard for the Indians against Roger Clemens. And again, Clemens throwing over to first base.
That lead, Cole going to the outside part of the bag. That little open stance right there.
Runner going that time, and it's grounded foul.
Well, that time they hit and run on because Clemens throws Brown a good breaking ball. Cole was off and had a pretty good jump on Clemens. Watch this jump right there. He's got 1, 2, 3, just about 4 steps before Clemens gets rid of that ball, and Brown beats it in the dirt. And I would think if it was a straight steal, the governor would have taken that breaking ball.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Brown able to lay off the high fastball.
I think it would be safe to say with a full count here, you'll see Cole off and running. Trying to get something happening here, top half of the first inning.
Cole is running, and the pitch is foul back. We'll do it again.
The governor was ready. He fouled that one straight back. He was on that pitch.
Swings and misses, strike 3, not a double play as Cole gets in there safely. That's 9 in a row and number 18 on the year.
Cole with a good jump. He just beats the throw. Brown swings through this pitch right here. You'll see Cole, he's off. And he didn't look back, and Brown swings through the pitch. Marzano comes up with a good throw, just a little bit high, and Cole beats the slide underneath, or beats the tag, I should say. It's a fastball that Brown swings through. Stolen base number 18 for Alex Cole.
And with 1 out, a chance to give the Indians the early lead. Falls to Carlos Baerga. Cole's at second base. 1 out. We're in the first, and Baerga takes ball 1. Carlos 0 for 4. In his mind, I'm sure he thinks he should have been 1 for 4. He hit a bullet that was speared at third by Boggs. 1 ball, no strikes. Baerga batting .297. Takes a fastball for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. Inning number 1 of game 2. It was at Fenway Park on April the 13th that Roger Clemens pitched that shutout. Blocked nicely by Marzano.
Marzano had a big game against the Indians last week when they gave Pena a night off. You see the nice block. He gets the body in front to keep Cole at second base.
Again, Marzano has to block it with his body. It's 3-1.
Well, it looks like Clemens then going with that little split finger, his forkball. And he's not going to give in to Carlos Baerga. He knows Albert Bell, right-handed hitter on deck. He realizes Baerga can hit the fastball.
And Baerga goes after the fastball, comes up empty.
That one might have been out of the strike zone right there, but Carlos looking for that pitch and the 3-1 count. He lets it fly and comes up empty.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Cole at second base with 1 out here in the first inning. Runner going, and it's lashed foul.
You see the jump of Alex Cole right there at second base on the 3-2 pitch, and that time he did not have a good jump. It's a good thing Baerga fouled that ball off.
Clemens taking a little extra time. Baerga hits it towards center field. Burks drifting back. Cole tagging. He'll head to third. Here comes the throw. It's offline, and with 2 outs, Cole is at third base.
Well, Baerga hits this ball pretty hard, but it's right in track for Ellis Burks. He goes back and makes the catch. Cole is back at second base tagging, and his throw is wide of third base. See Boggs right there and Dower saying, whoa, that's enough.
Albert Bell with a 2-run homer in the 8th inning of game number 1, 1 for 4. His 23rd homer on the year, the 4th he has hit against Boston. Albert batting .279, 23 homers and 63 runs batted in. He's got Alex Cole 90 feet away, and he can't catch up with that heat.
Just blew that fastball right by him there. That's the thing, when you start turning up that dial on the side, you say turn it up, that's the minute that Clemens will start spinning it up there on you.
Hit toward left field. Back is Greenwell. The ball is off the green wall. Albert Bell with a base hit off the wall in left field, and he has to scramble back to first, but he gives the Indians a 1-0 lead.
This ball hit right on the nose, and Bell thinking normally that's an automatic double. You got to realize that monster helps the left fielder out right here. You'll see he timed this fastball, and he turned up the dial, and look at that ball, great shot right there. It just ricochets off the monster above the scoreboard. Greenwell plays it on one hop like the left fielders in Fenway Park do so well for years, and Bell made a big turn, and you'll see Gordy McKenzie tell him he's got to get back. RBI number 64 for Albert. Gives the Indians a 1-0 lead.
And it is Mark Whitten batting. I think we had our numbers out of order a little bit in the hurry to get the batting order. Whitten batting ahead of Aldretti. Mike is on deck. Whitten lines it to second base. The inning is over. But on Albert Bell's single off the wall, the Indians take a 1-0 lead. We'll run down the Boston lineup and have the bottom of the first inning. The Indians get a run off Roger Clemens. Now a local break. We get set for the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the lineup that Dave Otto will take on here tonight. Leading off is Wade Boggs at third base, Jody Reed at second, Carlos Quintana at first. The DH is Jack Clark. Batting fifth, the left fielder Mike Greenwell. In the sixth spot is center fielder Ellis Burks. Tom Brunansky will bat number 7 and play right field. John Marzano doing the catching, and Mike Brumley playing shortstop in game 2.
Second left-hander in a row. Dave Otto making his 11th appearance for the Indians and his 7th start on the year. He has a record of 1-3 with a 2.96 earned run average, 51 2/3 innings, 48 hits, 13 base on balls, and 20.
The Detroit Tigers during that 4+ years.